What's up, Vibranium Scott? Stand up today. In today's video, we are going to have a discussion with you guys about the DC Extended Universe and how to make it better. But before I begin this video, if you're new to the channel, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment down below and let me know what you guys think about how to make the DC Extended Universe better. Okay, so I wanted to do this because a lot of people have been complaining about the direction that Marvel is going in right now. So for those people, I like to call them the classic comic book whiners because they like whining about everything comic book wise. But DC, Warner Brothers, please get the DC Extended Universe correct, because Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and Shazam were your three most successful movies. But you have Batman, Superman, arguably the two most popular heroes in DC, do poorly. Now, my thing is on how to make it better is we start with Batman, as far as try not to make Batman way older than Superman than he has to be, because in the Zack Snyder run, they made Batman about 50 something years old, flipping around like, why is he 50 years old? And they was like, oh well, he was operating in Batman while Clark Kent was young, which is kind of stupid in my opinion. Like, that's just dumb, because for all intents and purposes, Batman and Superman has always been close in age. Whether it's 1 year or 2 years or even the same age, it's not explicitly stated how. But I will say that in that perspective, Batman can still operate longer than Superman. Batman has 0 powers and he's a billionaire, so he can always start at a younger age than Superman. And that's the thing that I think Zack Snyder was missing. I also think with Superman, you can't have him brooding, man. No one wants to see a brooding Superman. At the end of the day, when you look at Superman, he is an ideal, a symbol of hope. And yet, in this next Snyder run, this man was doing all types of random stuff. Like, for example, he could have used his X-ray vision to see if there was a bomb somewhere, and he only heard it when the bomb goes off. How you miss that? With all them powers. Now, I have some form of idea and I get it, but as a fan, you want to see him to use all his abilities. When Batman shot that smoke, he could have just easily used his X-ray vision. He gonna fly through it. Like, what? Why? Why do that? So I think those two characters need some form of a reboot. And then y'all just changed up some stuff so it could fit in with the DC Extended Universe. Then I say, from what I can tell from The Flash, they've got 2 or 3 different directors. It looked like they're going to change Iris West to an African-American female. I would say, please, God, don't do that, because you're just going to set the classic comic book whiners off. So I would say, please have an all-white cast, because that way the classic comic book whiners won't whine so much. Because at the end of the day, them type of people, they don't want to enjoy a movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, they want their characters to be exactly like the comic books. So I will hope that with all the change of directions and all the changes in directors and stuff, that they actually do that, so you don't set them off. And then maybe because you get the whole entire cast white, maybe all of a sudden you're going to get a great movie, even though no matter what the cast or the characters are, if the movie's garbage, the movie's garbage. It won't even matter. You can do whatever, but I'll get into that another day. Green Lantern. There's rumor, and I'm not even excited for this movie if it is true. I'm probably like the only person who's not excited, because they said they want to do it like a buddy cop thing that would be like Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan. I think I'm the only person who won't even be excited, because I already know how they're going to portray Jon Stewart. He's going to suck in the movie. Everything's going to be predicated on Hal Jordan, and classic comic book whiners are going to be enjoying it. And it's people like me just like, dude, this is garbage. Because personally, me, I've always thought Hal Jordan was like the worst Green Lantern. I don't care about what anybody say. I've always thought he was the worst Green Lantern. But if they do that movie, at least try to either make it equal or something that both Jon Stewart fans could get behind and Hal Jordan fans could get behind. And then you gradually introduce characters, kind of like how Marvel did it, but do it a little different. If there's a situation that is dark and is like the fate of the world is in their hands, we don't need to be seeing them cracking jokes like Marvel Cinematic Universe, where they're cracking jokes in bad time situations. Like, man, why are you cracking a joke? So I hope DC doesn't do that. Like, that's something that DC does not need to do. I also see that they're having a Cyborg movie. That one's a little weird. Like, a Cyborg movie is a little weird because Cyborg is not really a very popular character. But I don't know. Hopefully they make that movie because, like I said, DC has a lot of great heroes. It's just their movies has been hot garbage. And I know that Warner Brothers is starting to say, well, why don't we just separate them? They don't need to be separate. You just need to be better at how to introduce the characters. That is the issue. And not only that, just do the characters the way they're supposed to be done. That's all. That's what most people are just asking. Like, if you have Superman, have the all-white cast of Superman. If you have Batman, have an all-white cast of Batman. If you don't, at least tell people, yo, this is an original character made specifically for this movie. And if you wanted to change, have a transgender or gay or a black or whatever, you put that in there as the disclaimer. That's all I would say. Or, I mean, because technically you have Duke Thomas, Gavin King, you can introduce them in a Batman movie, but fans ain't gonna like that. You don't even have to call him Robin or anything. Duke Thomas isn't Robin. Gavin King wasn't Robin. I forgot what Gavin King. I gotta look that up because he was something else. And I just forgot what it was. Start with an S. I'm drawing a blank. But you can, if you're gonna introduce them, but people are gonna be upset about that. I also think they're coming out with, I know they have the Teen Titans show. That's another thing. I haven't seen it, so y'all got to let me know. Is that part of the DC Extended Universe? If it's not, I think that's another thing that's hurting them. You got all these DC TV shows that's out, and you have not put them in the continuity that you're making. Marvel's done that, which is why they're somewhat successful. DC needs to get on board with that. DC needs to understand what fans want to see. We want to see the characters be the characters, but we also want to see how they all interact with each other in the movie. Because Justice League to me was cool, but they used to me the wrong bad guy. That's all I'm saying. Like, why didn't you use Darkseid? Like, that didn't make any type of sense. You use his uncle? Like, why? Why use his uncle? Like, that just didn't make any sense at all. And like I said, Zack Snyder seemed to wanted to do the Injustice story. So he was like gearing towards Superman becoming a villain. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see Superman as a villain. When people see Superman, they want to see the hope. So why would you do that? Why are you trying to make a civil war? DC never had a civil war. So why are you trying to put that in? You're pretty much trying to make a what if storyline, an alternated universe. Fans asked for Grant Gustin because they liked what the universe was doing, even though they didn't agree with the Iris West thing. I was like, you should have just said, yo, we're going to pay you more. You know, the Arrowverse should have been part of the DC Extended Universe. It's just that how they do in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and all that, you don't have to. You can just reference them. Like, oh, what about that guy? Instead of keeping all of them separate. Like I said, Wonder Woman is fine because she's successful. You don't need to reboot her. You don't need to reboot Aquaman or Shazam. You just need to reboot Batman and Superman. And then with the Green Lanterns, make sure you do it right. That both, like I said, both Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart fans will be happy. Or just do something that will make Green Lantern fans happy. You know, make sure you have Kyle Rayner in it because Kyle Rayner fans is going to want to have him in it with some shine. But don't try to get cute and then all of a sudden bring in characters that no one's ever heard of. Even though I do understand that if you bring in these characters without the classic characters, then for the most part, you get new readership. That's something classic comic book whiners don't be understanding, why movies sometimes do what they do. But sometimes not moviegoers, but director stuff, when they put their own vision to it, sometimes it's hot garbage. I admit that. Some of it, you'd be like, dude, that was hot garbage. Like, that was terrible. We're getting all these movies, a Suicide Squad. Like, people didn't even like it. Now they're coming out with Birds of Prey. All of this needs to be part of the DC Extended Universe. That's all I'm saying. All of this. And Warner Brothers, y'all just need to make this better. Get the right director who will follow the right storylines. We don't need no Infinite Crisis, no Final Crisis, or nothing Crisis. You can do something like, you could do Doom War or something. No, I'm not Doom War. I'm sorry. Wow. Not Doom War. No, don't do that one. I would say you could do, because that's part of the Year of the Villain storyline that's going on right now. I just call it Doom War. But I would say what you can do, the storyline, is Darkseid War. That would be an interesting concept. Darkseid War. Or use Darkseid as the big bad villain. You could use Darkseid as the big bad guy. Just gear up to him. Or Despero. They could have used Despero as the big bad guy for the Justice League. I mean, like I said, you have plenty of options to do. Plenty of options for Superman to fight. We got General Zod. Get somebody else. You could get the Toy Man. Toy Man's a little weird for some people because he doesn't have the power that Superman has. But he's still interesting. Metallo. The Parasite. Those are people that you can use. Reactron. That's all I'm saying. You don't gotta use the same villains and stuff. But I don't know, y'all. What y'all think? How can DC fix the extended universe? Well, if you like this video, please hit that like button. Hit that post notification button. And I'm ending this video now, so peace out, Vibranium Squad.